Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. An insider name drops Wendy Williams while explaining what's allegedly going on with the Chrisleys' new TV show after Todd and Julie's release. For some time now, the Chrisley family has been aiming to make a TV comeback years after the cancellation of their USA Network show, Chrisley Knows Best. Their new project is truly coming together now though, as Lifetime has ordered the Chrisleys' new show to series. Since that announcement though, there's been a major development. The heads of the family, Todd and Julie, have been released from prison after being pardoned. An insider dished on how this affects the show, and they name-dropped Wendy Williams in the process. The currently untitled Chrisley TV project was announced near the end of May. It was confirmed at the time that the reality series would be headlined by Savannah Chrisley and her siblings, Chase, Grayson, and Chloe, as well as their grandmother, Nanny Faye. A synopsis was also released, which teased how the show would focus on the kids' personal lives and their struggles to deal with the absences of their imprisoned parents. Considering that Julie and Todd Chrisley are now free, it goes without saying that a portion of the series synopsis is essentially moot now. However, if the aforementioned sources' comments to People are be believed, the producers behind the show are now taking a fluid approach amid the changes in the Brood situation. The show is still filming and will continue to, though the family situation is evolving rapidly. No one knew this pardon would happen, and the goal is to cover their lives in real time. But things have significantly changed for them all, and everyone in the family, as well as producers, are trying to figure it out and tell their authentic story. As challenging as this all may sound, it would seem that the creative team isn't really sweating it. The insider cites the previously mentioned talk show host as a key reason for that. But the producers are used to this. It's similar to Wendy Williams. When filming began on her doc, they thought they were going to do one kind of show, and then everything changed. In 2024, Lifetime released Where is Wendy Williams?, a 4-part docuseries that focuses on the former media personality in the aftermath of her eponymous show's cancellation. The show also covers Williams' health struggles and her placement under guardianship. Reports have since indicated that production on that series changed as time went on. Ultimately, the doc sparked controversy, with some viewers calling it exploitative and hard to watch. One of Williams' former producers expressed their misgivings about it, while the EPs behind the docuseries claimed Williams was fine with the way it turned out. Todd and Julie Chrisley's situation is, of course, much different. News of their pardons broke in late May, at which point daughter Savannah expressed excitement. The couple was found guilty of bank fraud, tax evasion, and more in 2022, with Julie and Todd subsequently receiving 7- and 12-year prison sentences, respectively. Savannah advocated for them over the last several years and eventually worked with presidential pardon czar Alice Mary Johnson to have her parents released. Well ahead of the Chrisleys' release, there was uncertainty regarding whether Todd and Julie would be involved with the show. That doesn't seem to be a question at this point. Still, Alice Murray Johnson advised that the married pair take some time to collect themselves as they reintegrate themselves into society. Regardless of whether Julie and Todd take that advice, their family is returning to the small screen at some point amid the 2025 TV schedule. And given how things have changed, it's very possible that they'll be on the series. And then there's reality TV buzz. And lately, nothing is crackling louder than the whispers swirling around Todd and Julie Chrisley. Freshly released from prison and freshly back on the Hollywood radar, the controversial power couple behind Chrisley Knows Best are allegedly gearing up for a jaw-dropping return to television. But what's really going on behind the scenes? According to a well-placed insider, the Chrisleys' post-prison comeback isn't as straightforward as it seems. And, in a twist no one saw coming, Wendy Williams' name has entered the chat. Let's set the stage. After serving shortened sentences for their high-profile bank fraud and tax evasion convictions, Todd and Julie walked out of prison looking not only like they'd seen the light, but possibly like they were ready to step back into the spotlight. Their children have already been laying the groundwork. Savannah Chrisley launched a podcast. Chase and Grayson have kept their social media presence alive. And Nanny Faye. She's practically America's unfiltered grandmother at this point. But a family podcast is one thing. A full-scale reality show about redemption, rebuilding, and maybe a little revenge. That's a different beast. And that's exactly what's allegedly in development. It's not Chrisley Knows Best 2.0, The Insider revealed exclusively. Think of it more like a spiritual reboot, but darker, more real, rawer. It's giving Wendy Williams, Where is Wendy Now? Vibes. In fact, that's who execs are watching closely. Wait, Wendy Williams? The daytime diva who vanished from TV only to become the center of a documentary that both enthralled and devastated viewers. That's the one. According to The Insider, the success and controversy of Where is Wendy Williams has inspired a major pivot in how networks and streamers approach once disgraced stars. Instead of pretending nothing happened, audiences are hungry for the fallout. They want to see scars. They want to see the struggle. And the Chrisleys. They're the perfect storm, The Insider says. Todd is itching to control the narrative, the source claims. Julie is more cautious, but she also understands the power of the redemption arc. What Wendy's story showed producers is that people love a comeback, but only if it's messy. That's why the cameras are being positioned inside the healing. We're talking family therapy sessions, behind-the-scenes breakdowns, real legal strategy meetings, not just let's go pick up dry cleaning with Nanny Faye. Apparently, the working title of the new project is Chrisley Unfiltered. Though that could change. Early footage is allegedly already being captured, especially since Todd and Julie are still under supervised release and have strict limitations. That, The Insider says, is part of the appeal. Viewers will see what reintegration really looks like. They're not just popping champagne in their Nashville mansion. They're reporting to probation officers, trying to reconnect with estranged relatives, and yes, figuring out where they went wrong, the source explained. And the network backing it? That's still under wraps. But The Insider says there's a bidding war. Everyone from Netflix to Hulu to even OWN is circling. It's not just about the Chrisleys. It's about what they represent, privilege, downfall, and the messy path to accountability. Executives watched the Wendy doc explode across social media. It was painful, but it got views. The Chrisleys offer that same combustible mix. But don't expect this to be another Kardashian-style glam fest. Gone are the days of perfectly curated family dinners and matching pastel outfits, The Insider says. Todd's reality now includes monitored phone calls and weekly check-ins. There's no glam team anymore. And the cameras? They're being invited to catch the breakdowns as well as the breakthroughs. That said, not everyone in the family is reportedly on board. According to the source, daughter Lindsay is hesitant about rejoining the Chrisley media machine, especially given her past estrangement from Todd. And while Savannah is allegedly the most media-savvy and proactive of the bunch, she's still balancing her guardianship responsibilities and her own career moves. But that tension is good for the show, The Insider claims. Viewers want authenticity. They want uncomfortable family dinners. They want difficult conversations. They want to see Todd admit his flaws or refuse to. The producers are pushing for scenes where the kids challenge their parents. This isn't a comeback special. It's a reckoning. There's even talk of a cross-collaboration episode with another ex-reality star who's also navigating life after scandal. While no name was confirmed, the source hinted. There's a former talk show host who's been through hell and is finally ready to speak her truth on camera. Let's just say, she's no stranger to a purple chair.